Okay, let's go.
Yeah, oh, it went too hard.
Yeah, guys, no time to play here. We're gonna do what we have to do.
Where's John with the shotgun?
Folks, welcome back to Chris Wyatt Africa here in Adaba, Africa. It's the 12th of July, and South Africa is imploding as I record this video. Absolute utter chaos throughout the day in South Africa today. It's already late afternoon there, and we've seen malls torched in Pietermartizburg. We have seen people looting throughout KwaZulu-Natal and Johannesburg. Journalists have been reportedly attacked and robbed in Johannesburg. And finally, confirmation of fatalities as a consequence of this widespread looting for which the government of South Africa has taken no action whatsoever. Finally today, day 5 of widespread looting, chaos, arson, intimidation, and blockages of roads disguised as protests, none of which were actual protests, simply lawlessness, which the African National Congress tolerated. And in fact, one has to begin to wonder if they encouraged it until it got out of control for them. Within a few hours, we expect to hear the president of South Africa, the clueless wonder himself, who failed to take action in the past 5 days with this situation, speak to the nation on what we expect to see a state of emergency declared. We have a state of disaster already with the pandemic. Now we expect to see a state of emergency. The South African National Defense Force reportedly is deployed throughout KwaZulu-Natal and into Gauteng, into the Johannesburg area to help quell the violence. But it's too little, too late as Armageddon descends across South Africa. What we're seeing now is worse than the violence we saw at the height of the Soweto uprisings in 1985 or 1976. This violence is widespread and targets are everywhere. Thousands, tens of thousands of jobs have been lost. Countless amount of personal wealth has been lost. Corporate wealth has been lost. Jobs are gone forever. People will never recover from this because the African National Congress was too stupid, too lazy, too ineffective, and too short-sighted to take any action. How in the world could anybody possibly think that when the African National Congress is evenly split between a Zuma faction and those who reluctantly support Ramaphosa, that Ramaphosa going to jail would not result in an excuse to loot, burn, and murder? Burn, loot, and murder. That's what's going on across South Africa. What is striking about this is that, fortunately, so far, it's been contained to just 2 provinces primarily. But we do expect to see more of this in other parts of the country. Hopefully, it will not spread there. But if you look and see where this is at, it's places that actually have Zuma support. And that would be KwaZulu-Natal and Gauteng. It makes you wonder just what sort of quality people actually back Zuma, or any of these people actually backing Zuma, or is it, as I've stated all along, simply an excuse to steal? This is a consequence of 27 years of failed African National Congress governance. While I speak right now, as people are being killed, livelihoods destroyed, infrastructure obliterated, a handful of cops are out trying to do something while other cops are looting. Video footage from cops in Durban last night looting a ShopRite, stealing. Cops loading up the police vehicle with stolen goods, walking out of the store with it. Now, that's a few cops. The vast majority of cops appear to be out there trying to do their best, but they are undermanned. And frankly, because the government tolerated and allowed this to go on without arresting people and making an example instantly, and in Kanla last week, before this ever broke into violence, this is the African National Congress's fault. This will be the legacy of the failed African National Congress, the implosion of South Africa. Cape Independence, well, that just got much more realistic. This is unbelievable, folks. This is what happens when dyed-in-the-wool, scumbag, communist leftists are allowed to run a country. They don't care about the people. They care about their power and their privilege. And that's what they've been guarding for 27 years. And for the past 15 years have upped the pace and stolen and looted. And very much like Zimbabwe, eventually there's nothing left to steal and loot. Fortunately, we haven't got to that stage yet, but we're rapidly approaching it with the idiotic governance of the African National Congress. Watch these scenes now of what's going on in South Africa.
Ramaphosa lokolla Zuma awa wana mazulu
Why?
Because they're disgusting human beings.
Ngenela bako kumaphathe emoto. Batholane la. Awusebenzile. Kuthi bethola lapho koyile nje. Okay. Then
Ibale lakhona. Toma lo feliz. Grazie. Grazie. Bring the truck inside. They collect everything that has been damaged and put it all over to them. Video operator. Where's our video operator? Video operator.
Iyaluma mhlabami. Okay, phephisa.
Ngothi nesisigebengu. Imali imoto lemgwaqweni nezinye impilo. Isimani.
So let me summarize what's been going on here. A state of emergency is going to be declared by the President of South Africa. If it hasn't already been declared, it's unclear what media reports are saying, but expect a state of emergency on top of the state of disaster. Additionally, on top of that, the South African National Defense Force has been called out in the provinces KwaZulu-Natal and in Johannesburg. Journalists have been assaulted, looted. We now have at least 6 confirmed fatalities as a consequence of this fighting, and we have seen countless amounts of property destroyed. The Brookside Mall in Pietermartizburg has been torched. The rand has slumped against the dollar, expected to continue a further collapse, causing more economic misery across South Africa, in addition to all this chaos that's been unsown here in 5 days. 5 days. Jacob Zuma surrendered after midnight on Thursday. Riots erupted on Thursday disguised as protests. The media failed to cover it. The media, the captured, fake stream, lame stream media in South Africa refused to do coverage of it. Only social media made the world aware of what was actually happening. Finally, ENCA did a little bit of coverage, and now the media has no choice but to cover it. But nothing happened. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Today's day 5 of this chaos, and the South African government has failed to act until now. We're waiting for President Ramaphosa's address to the nation sometime in the next couple of hours. As I record this video, the government of South Africa, its bureaucracy, and its political leadership is engaged not in quelling violence, not in restoring order, not in protecting lives or citizens or property. No, the government of South Africa is sitting by watching Rome burn. Nero fiddles, Rome burns. Ramaphosa is clueless, and the country burns. The Constitutional Court, which ludicrously agreed to hear a rescission request from the jailed, convicted criminal Jacob Zuma, who sits in the Estcourt Correctional Facility right now, playing the role of martyr, they decided to listen to his idiotic, unprecedented request for them to reconsider their conviction and sentencing. They're actually doing that now. If you're not subscribed to Chris Wyatt Africa, hey, take a moment to become one. Appreciate the support right here. We'll try to keep bringing you updated news and events across Africa, but especially right now as we focus on South Africa as it simply is collapsing. Thanks a lot, folks. Be sure to smash the like button.